It is AFA Today, and we are coming to you live from New York City as we do every single day, the news capital of the world, trying to keep our eye on what's going on here in the middle of the day for you. And we always want to get you caught up to date on the latest headlines, so go over to onenewsnow.com because the latest from the Associated Press and a number of other things that are quite important to the families of America can all be found there. And we're grateful to have you with us today. I welcome you on into the AFA Today studio, but I am not in a very welcoming mood today. We have got some rather significant problems in this world, friends. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. I sure do. It doesn't seem difficult for me to understand that we are living in one messed up place. But when I get to the meat of the topic that I want to deal with you today on, friends, you're going to want to pull your hair out of your head. Either that or light it on fire. I can't really decide which. I don't have any hair left on my head, or I would be doing it too. But it's stories like the one I'm about to share with you that just want to make you scream. They want to make you, I don't know, pound nails into something hard. However you deal with your frustration, the stupidity of humanity, the insidiousness of sin, all the things that add up to being horrible and terrible. And, just anything that you can imagine that's negative can be, I don't know, birthed from the feelings you will get while we discuss this broadcast today. Welcome. On that cheerful note, I'm Kevin McCullough, 888-589-8840. I'm reading the Daily Caller this morning. Daily Caller is a website operated by, what's his name? Carlson. What's his name? The guy that's on Fox News with the bow tie. Anyway, that guy. But Eric Owens is the guy that posted this story. And again, I think the value of this story isn't because it's of the people that are involved. It's because of who the people involved represent and the thinking behind those that are involved and the obvious disconnect from the, well, shall we just say the educated elites of our society and the way they look down on, I don't know, everybody else around them. Dateline, Northern Michigan. Residents in a tiny rural farm town are calling for a board member of the local school board to be fired. They want several teachers to also be fired. And they want to end retirement benefits for 2 teachers that have retired. Now, what made the residents of this town, Tucker Carlson, that's it. Tucker Carlson started the Daily Caller. Little bow tie wearing guy from CNN came over. Notice he doesn't wear bow ties on Fox anymore. He just stopped doing that when he left CNN. I don't know. Maybe that was part of his gig at CNN. I'm not sure. Anyway, thank you, research team, for getting me the right name on the Daily Caller. But anyway, back to Michigan. We're in northern Michigan here. This is a small little town. The townspeople, they want to fire a school board member, and they want to fire a number of teachers, 6 teachers in all that are currently on the payroll, and another 2 that have retired. Now, what happened there? Let me give you the thumbnail sketch. You have a teacher who about 7 years ago had some wrongful interaction with a student, but it came to an end. That student is now at the University of Michigan, Western Michigan. As far as we know, no more wrongful contact between the two since then. But somebody sent recently a photograph that's about 7 years old anonymously to the school administration. And it shows evidently the child in a compromised position, and the student is now asked by the school board, did something happen? The student admits to it, et cetera, et cetera. Now, what had happened? Well, back in 2006, a teacher by the name of Neil Erickson, an 8th grade teacher, engages in a series of sexual incidents with a student in his class, an 8th grade boy. So you have teacher, male, student, male, homosexual sex going on between the two. To the student's recollection, it happened about 10 times. According to the local Fox television station, oral sex at the teacher's house 10 times over the course of that year. When the photograph is sent to the school, Erickson, the teacher that is accused, then is indicted, brought up on charges. The trial is held, and he is found guilty of one criminal count of criminal sexual conduct. He receives a sentence of 15 to 30 years. This was in July when he was sentenced. 15 to 30 years that he will sit in prison for what happened between he and the student. What is completely mind-boggling, almost inexplicable, something that cannot be explained from my way of thinking for any logical reason whatsoever, is what happens next. Because he's found guilty, and after you have the trial to determine innocence or guilt, then you go to the sentencing stage, right? So, not in the trial to develop the evidence to find him guilty. Not at that stage of the trial. Not at the pre-trial, where they come out and could show solidarity with their comrade at that. No. After he has been found guilty of having man-raped a boy, 6 public school teachers come to the defense of this teacher, Neil Erickson. 6 currently paid, salaried teachers at the school district where this man taught. Okay? So he's been accused. Well, first it happened. Then he put an end to it, or it ended somehow. Then years go by. A photograph pops up, then an accusation, then an indictment, then an arrest, then a trial, then a guilty verdict. Now they're at the stage of sentencing. And 6 teachers do the following. 6 current teachers, 2 retired teachers, and 1 board member send letters to the judge in the sentencing hearing. One of them says, "I'm asking that Neil be given the absolute minimum sentence considering all the circumstances surrounding this case." Okay, what are the surrounding circumstances? Well, it's 7 years later. He didn't do it again. He asked for it all to be, whatever. But that's one of the teachers given the absolute minimum sentence because of the circumstances. A board member also petitions the judge and asks the judge to send the child molester to just the county lockup, not the dangerous real prison. Another teacher by the name of Sally Campbell wrote, "Neil made a mistake. He allowed a mutual friendship to develop into much more. This was an isolated incident." I'm sorry, that's wrong. He said he realized his mistake, and it ended years before someone anonymously sent something to the authorities, which began this legal process. This is a teacher saying to a judge, don't go too hard on him because this is just a legal process. It was over long ago, and, it's over. It's an isolated incident. Another teacher by the name of Harriet Coe swore, "Neil has pleaded guilty for his one criminal offense, but he is not a predator. Isolated incident, he understands the severity of his action and is sincere in his desire to make amends." Okay. The judge, evidently after having all of these letters come at him and these people, these teachers come in and they sit with the accused family members and they're speaking in support of him and all this. The judge says this. He tells the audience, "I'm disgusted by the support you have shown for Erickson in this trial. I'm appalled and ashamed that the community would rally around, in this case, you, he says to the accused. What you did was a jab in the eye with a sharp stick to every parent who's ever trusted a teacher. What we found out later is that the town actually became quite divided over this case. The parents of the child who was molested ended up having their house spray painted upon and partially burned down by a supporter of the teachers and of the teacher himself. What they spray painted on the house, "You will pay, I told you." The teachers don't want to get fired, but the townspeople don't want them working for the school district anymore. They're shocked and angry, and they're saying this is insane that active teachers involved in teaching young people today, right now, would come to his defense, given the fact that he had sexual interaction with a student 10 times over the course of a year in 2006. 888-589-8840. My point in telling you all of the details of the case is I am grotesquely, stomach-churningly, vomitously sickened by the fact that these teachers do not seem to think that it's anything of a big deal to support their colleague on this. And what it really boils down to is that the divide between those that think he's guilty and the teachers are wrong and they should be done away with are being the ones that want to see all those people gone and fired. What it's boiling down to is that there's an element within the town that is looking at those people and is calling them bigots. Now, why are they calling them bigots? Don't we want teachers to leave their grimy mitts off of our young'uns? Is it bigoted to say you should have the right to send your child to school in peace and not be put upon by a teacher's sexual nature or desires? Isn't that the bottom rung of expectations that we should be getting out of our public schools? No, evidently not. The ones that are supporting the teachers and supporting the teacher are saying that those that are calling for all of the terminations are bigots. It says it's not justice. It is slanted justice, because they said if it was an 8th grade girl and the man, the sentence might have been similar but probably different. And if it was a female teacher and an 8th grade boy, there probably wouldn't even be the outrage that there has been. So what they're saying is that it's the bigoted hatred of anti-homosexual feelings within the community that is the real problem. That this bigoted nature that this town has towards a homosexual teacher should be used as rationale to not let the teacher be punished for his man-raping one of his students. Your thoughts, 888-589-8840. Coming right back on AFA Today. I'm Kevin McCullough. Stay with us.